EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. So Libby works with seniors and their families, helping them make decisions for living their best lives in their golden years. There's downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, real estate sales, and more. And the consultation, the first consultation with Libby, is always free. She wants to hear from you. Give her a call at 772-783-2800 or visit www.SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. Okay, so now AI, artificial intelligence. It is exciting for some and worrisome for other, especially parents. But this is a very special episode because there is a solution to keep kids safe while they are studying and, just while they're learning and using AI. Joining me in the studio today is Dr. Joshua Allard. He is the CEO, founder of Corvion Systems and Atlas Guide, and we're going to learn about Atlas Guide. Parents, you are going to want to pay attention to this. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited because when you and I first met, I was like, oh, we have to have, a coffee meeting. I had to learn all about this. But before we go to this really cool revolutionary software system, Atlas Guild, I'd like for you to share a little bit about your background with us.
Sure, of course, right? So yes, I'm, Dr. Allard. I obtained my PhD in data science and AI with a focus in quantum AI in 2023. I've been working in the AI field for major enterprises, including IBM, for over 12 years. And last year, I ended up starting up my own AI research and development company, Corvion Systems, LLC. And from that, we are working on many new technologies around AI. Specifically, one of our leading products is emotional safety with AI.
Yes, and that's on the Corvion side. And we're going to touch on that because all of us adults, we need that as well, that software. But teenagers, they're using ChatGPT, they're using Claude, they're using Gemini, schoolwork, of course, everyday questions because kids are curious, they're having fun with AI. But what was your concern about the experiences that inspired you to create Atlas Guild, especially for the teenagers, the 13 to 18-year-olds?
Yeah, so, the idea behind these AI systems that everybody's heard of, right? They first came out for enterprises. There was really no governance layer around emotional safety or around teenagers using it because that's not what they were originally designed for. And with the big hype after ChatGPT came out, everyone was like, oh man, this is amazing. We can do so many cool things, which is true. But nobody took into account there's not really a safety layer, and it's not perfection, right? It will never be perfection, but you need to be able to have that layer, especially for these teenagers who, might not understand a lot of things or might kind of fall victim to traps that the AI, because of how it works, will produce, even though it's not attempting to do that, right? It still does that.
Because even with adults, we've heard that they get emotionally attached to the person that they're talking to and they're asking for advice. So that's the slippery slope for kids. And even that CNN article that came out about like deep fakes and that how kids are using it to like hurt other kids. And that's why Atlas Guild has been created. Okay, so now companies that are in this space, they're monitoring it, they're watching it from the outside, but you started from somewhere else. So I would like to hear, like, what does a teenager actually notice when they're using your software, Atlas Guild?
So with our software, right, it's built with them in mind, but also with the parents, right? So from a parent's perspective, they will actually get a dashboard. They will actually see how their child is interacting with the AI. But from the teenage perspective, what they're going to see is they're going to see a collection of different characters that they can interact with and different tutors that they can help them with their assignments, right? They even have the ability to create their own characters that will then have to be approved by their parent, of course.
Yeah.
But the ability to actually explore these different subjects when you're talking about schooling, or even just going on adventures into space, or having a battle with a dragon, right? You know, that's interactive, that's fun for them. And what they will be able to see is they will see that it's not a person, right? It'll actually come out and say, hey, this is AI. This isn't the person you're talking to, right? And we'll do that periodically as the conversations go on, just to keep them in that safe mindset.
Right.
And we don't share their conversations out with the parents, right? Because they want their own privacy, right? And they will know all the stuff while they're using the system.
Right. So there is privacy for the kids, but if they do, though, like if there's almost like a line being crossed, the parents will know.
Correct.
But still, like if they're studying for math, because you have lots of tutoring, and that's why I was so excited about this, because I even said like math was like geometry was so difficult, but these kids are actually engaged and excited about learning because the AI tutors are really helping them and encouraging them and explaining and helping.
And this is different from the average AI, right? So if you go to like ChatGPT and say, hey, give me the answer 2 + 2, it's going to come right out and say 4. Right. But with our system, the governance layers we put in place, especially for the tutors, right? It's not going to give them the direct answer. Yeah. It's going to say something more like, imagine 2 apples and imagine 2 oranges. How many do you have altogether, right? And that's how we actually build it, to actually give the teens the ability to actually learn, rather than having the answers just fed to them.
So it's also helping them with their critical thinking skills, and that's something that parents and teachers have been worried about since AI and the internet. Well, the internet first and then AI. Right. So this is actually encouraging them, and your system is giving kids a step up, actually, in helping them prepare for college, whatever secondary education, and then adulting in general. Okay, so now OpenAI also just launched a teen version of ChatGPT. So explain like Atlas, because there's a huge differentiator for you.
There's several differentiators, right? So with OpenAI, ChatGPT teen, right? They do have the safety layer that is very similar to ours. We do it a little bit differently. I won't going to get into the technical details about it, right? But basically, they still have the ability, the teen, from what I was researching, they have the ability to disconnect the parents, right? Where in our system, Atlas Guild, right, the teens and the parents are always connected until they turn 18. And then, it takes the parent off, or gives the teen the ability to take the parent off. Okay. Right. So they still have that option to keep their parent on there if they want it. Okay. Right. Other differentiators in the ChatGPT teen, it's just the regular AI interface, right? With our system, the teens actually get to build their own characters for certain subjects or certain conversations or certain adventures. That is a huge differentiator between, the OpenAI version and what we develop.
Yeah, no, I love that, because even if they want to, like you said, explore space, but even if they want to, traverse Italy, the mountains of Italy or things like that,
right. And we even have, historical figures like Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
right,
I saw
where you
that.
can actually have this conversation with him and ask him about his life, about his, about his inventions, about what he thought about certain things. And of course, it'll pull from historical events, right? It's not going to make anything up in these particular characters. But we also have a religious component, right? We're bringing in characters from the Bible. It's not for everybody. You can opt in or opt out of it, right?
It's just another
avenue that we have that nobody else is doing, right?
Yeah, that's really
cool.
So
it gives the ability to Christians to be able to have kids talk to Job or talk to Moses or Mary and ask them about, biblical events and their time around the Bible, right? And so it's very different from a lot of other places and what they're doing, right?
So I have to say that my husband wants to subscribe, okay,
Awesome.
to this version, and he's an adult, but between the Nikola Tesla and a few of the other characters, and then of course the Bible stuff. So yeah, we're going to talk about that later. But I'm just looking at the time. You know what I want to do? I want to take a break now because we have a lot of other amazing questions, and I don't want to just interrupt. So, but before, give the web address for Atlas Guild and however you want people to contact you.
Yes. So you can register for the wait list. It's going to be join.atlas.corvionsystems.com. We have 1,000 founder spots and 1,000 free spots currently till we open up publicly in 2027.
Well, you have 999 of the founder spots because my husband wants to join. And so Corvion, Corvion. So it's join.atlas.corvionsystems.com. That's for the benefit of iHeartRadio and all the podcasts.
Awesome.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes.
We all have that pair of jeans hiding in the back of our closet with hopes of wearing them again. Slim Therapeutics can make that hope a reality. Our GLP therapy offers personalized weight loss, helping you quiet that food noise, reduce those cravings, and boost your overall health. Pair that with our customized HRT for men and women. Let's balance those hormones, improve sleep, and restore your energy. Visit us in downtown Vero Beach or Google Slim Therapeutics today for a free consultation.
Finding the right home loan should feel like the last piece of a puzzle. Here in Vero, one name stands out for experience you can trust. Gina Melton at Riverside Mortgage Solutions.
With over 16 years of local expertise, I'm not just a loan originator, I'm your neighbor. Don't settle for an out-of-town lender. Talk to me at 772-205-8880. Call me, Gina Melton, with Riverside Mortgage Solutions.
Riverside Mortgage Solutions is an equal housing lender. NMLS 1712816 and NMLS 877888.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I'm with Dr. Joshua Allard, the CEO of Corvion Systems and this amazing revolutionary software called Atlas Guild that's designed to engage and inspire and protect kids while they are using AI. So before the commercial break, we were talking about the different things, the characters and how they can create their own. And then there's also some religious characters, but you're in development with this. So Christianity is the first one, but there's lots more characters and there's other religions to introduce as well.
Yes, they're in the roadmap.
Yeah.
Yes,
because nobody wants to be left out, right?
Correct.
It's kind of like when we were kids getting picked for the team. You know, who got picked first? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I was always picked last, but not for kickball. I was good with that. Anyway, all kidding aside. So a lot of parents, they're worried that AI could expose their kids to inappropriate information. We alluded to that, unhealthy conversations, misinformation, and then the emotional dependency. So now, how does Atlas Guild recognize all of this and what does it do?
So basically, we built the system around identifying specific trends and aspects in the conversation. And what the safety layer does is it's able to actually identify these and be able to kind of adjust the response of the AI in order to better respond to those situations. So if it sees a conversation that is going, down a dangerous path or a very depressed path, it'll try to redirect the conversation into another direction, right? And that's not always going to work, of course. But basically what we do, if it gets down to a point where we see it's a very bad concern, then we send up an alert to the parents. Hey, parents, your kid is having, an emotional problem, right? Here's the part of the conversation that actually triggered our alert to go off, right?
Okay.
And we also have, if it gets to a really bad point, we also have, the, I think it was the 911, or not 911, but the numbers for professionals.
211, I think.
211,
211,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you for that correction.
Yes, absolutely.
I was saying 911, but so we actually direct to actually go to professionals. We don't let the AI be the solution, right?
Okay,
we don't
good.
let it be the clinical. We don't let it be diagnosing issues, right? We actually guide it to the parents first, and then if it's a really bad issue, then we guide it to the professionals that can actually help.
Okay, I love that. Now, students, sometimes they want to use AI just to get to that answer. They want to cut and paste and do all that silly stuff because sometimes certain subjects, like I mentioned, for me, geometry, it can be hard to understand. So now, how does Atlas Guild help students with that critical thinking aspect?
So if you think about regular tutors, right? AI tutors, they're just going to be straight and direct, right? With the system we built, we actually put in an emotional layer into the system, right?
Okay.
And this actually allows the system to encourage them to take a different path or try a different set of methods, right? Rather than just the same method that's spit out over and over and over again.
You're right.
So instead of it being just a direct, here's how you do this problem. Well, let's try it this way. Let's try it that way.
As the character that the tutor
Correct.
is seeing that, okay, I'm explaining it this way. You don't seem to totally get it. So let's keep working and suggesting other ways to help you. So then the kid is like, oh, now I understand.
Yeah, because everyone is going to have a different learning way, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be learning things different ways. So we are developing the system, and we're actually building these tutors to be able to adjust and kind of improve on different methods for different people, right?
Yeah.
And I'll actually remember what your teen did last week or even last month, and actually use that information to continue the conversation and make it even better for them.
Yeah, no, I love that. Now, teenagers, they always have the sign on the outside of their door, keep out, knock first, whatever, right? They want their privacy, and parents also, they want to protect, but they also want to be able to keep their distance to let their kids figure things out and maybe make some like small mistakes, right? But with your system, like how does that balance, between the kids' needs and then the parents?
Yeah. So, I mean, with the teen, right, the teen doesn't want their parent to know everything that they're doing or everything they're talking about, right? So the conversations that they actually have, the bulk of it is very small, right? Yeah. But on the parent dashboard, what we have is basically trends. Hey, your kid is maybe a little bit down, but the top trends that have been happening is around school and friends, right? And it just gives little tidbits. It doesn't give you the actual conversation, right? The only way the conversation is actually given to the parent is if we get to one of those really, really critical or high concern states in that conversation. Then that is triggered and the parent actually can see that. Then they can approach their child. They can talk to them about, hey, I noticed you said this, to the AI, what's going on? What can I help you with? Right.
Yeah.
So it gives the teens the ability to still be in that privacy area, but it also gives the parents the peace of mind that they are going to be able to see and know when the conversations are getting really bad. How late at night are they really talking to the AI, right?
Yeah.
And so all that information is available on the parent dashboard and more to come.
Yeah, because teen angst is a real thing. And sometimes it could be something as simple as they really want to get straight A's, let's say, because they're trying to get into whatever school, or maybe they're struggling with sports or whatever. So they'll keep things to themselves, to their friends. They don't always share everything with their parents. So it's kind of nice that they know that they can have some conversation conversations and their parents don't have to know everything. So, okay, so what should any parent ask any AI company before letting their kids use it?
So AI, the way it is today it's just going to get better, right? And its accuracy and its amount of information it's able to provide. So really the questions you really want to ask is, how is it protecting? How is the safety layer, right? Because this is the missing layer, the safety layer that nobody thought of before.
Yeah.
Right. So really when you're looking at AI or you're looking at, other products, right? What kind of safety stuff do you have in for me?
Yeah.
What can I see as a parent? How does the team feel about it, right? Because those are going to be critical, especially in moving forward. From enterprise AI, that's going to be a completely different aspect.
Yeah.
But from a consumer, from us regular Joes that are really going into AI, these are the questions we want. Is it safe? There's a lot of negativity about AI. I'm not going to lie about that, right?
Sure,
and some of it is
valid, right?
But with what we're building, we're trying to improve on that. We're trying to make it better. We're trying to make it safer.
Yeah.
And that's the layer that we're building into the system. Well,
I love that. So now you are launching this in September. So as we're taping it, it is the 21st of August. Okay.
Yes.
So now what does it mean to become a founding family, and how will these early families help shape Atlas Guild? Now, and also explain share what you can about future development.
So basically, yes, the founding family actually is part of our development team, right? So as they actually interact with the full system that will be opened up for them, right? They will be able to say, hey, I don't really like how this is coming out, or I don't like this aspect, or hey, maybe can we add something like this?
Yeah.
Right. So they will actually be able to help build, right? Build this system out for their teams and everybody else that will use it once we actually fully go public.
Right. And when you fully go public, you're also going to have characters and such for adults as well.
Yes, we will be. Yeah, we will be moving beyond the, the 18 plus age group. But for right now, we are focused on the 13 to 18.
Very good. But even still, my husband wants, and I would actually like to play with it too. I think it's pretty cool because even though I'm out of school, I'm a lifelong learner. So there are subjects that you have that are interesting to me about science and technology and all that other stuff. Maybe not geometry, Mrs. Bodkin, high school. She was a lovely teacher, but I had such issues. But we're almost to the end of the show. So what I'd like to do is just share a little bit of what you want to talk about Corvion Systems.
So yes, Corvion Systems, like I said, we are an AI research and development company. So basically we build new AI technologies, but we also actually help small businesses. Right. So we actually help small businesses with their AI solutions that, these enterprises pay millions of dollars for to try to make their line better and improve their overall performance. Right. We actually work with these small businesses to actually build the same level of AI technology for a much lower price that they can actually afford and use.
Okay. So CorvionSystems.com, Corvion Systems.com, and then it's join.atlas.corvionsystems.com. And of course, like other AIs, there's the free version, but then there's a paid version, and you have a similar thing with Atlas, but there's more features. But the paid version is very inexpensive, just like the others.
If you break it down on a month, it's only about $8 a month.
Wow. I love that so much. So, and then there's going to be so many more features coming out. We have 1 minute left, Cindy. We need more time, but she won't give it to us.
Right.
But what would you like to say with 30 seconds before we wrap up?
If you're interested in about your child's safety, especially when it comes to AI, just come check us out. Come try it. Come try at least the free version, right? See what it is. And if you're interested in helping out, join our founding members and help us build the future of AI.
Yeah, I love that so much. And so I want to say thank you so very much for being here. I flirted with free versions of AI. I'm happily subscribed to others. I'm going to subscribe to this. Parents, if you love your children and you care about their future, you got to get on this system like right away. And with that, my name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. Until next week, I miss you already.